Are recording. We are recording. Welcome,
Yay.
welcome, welcome, all you fucking guineas. Uh,
Wow.
well,
Just gonna slur.
Fucking
I have
guineas.
to I have to open it with the slur. Welcome to Ambush at Dragon's Cove. I don't remember what number we're on because we had to
Man,
cancel
if you're gonna
once.
if you're gonna call us guineas, you might as well go the full
Three, I
distance and
think.
call us wops.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I watched fucking whatever that whatever that movie was, and Sean Connery calls that guy a fucking wop.
It was
What's a Sean
it was
Connery voice?
it was that fucking movie with the gangsters. I'm trying to remember the
Yeah,
Untouchables.
The Untouchables. That was it. Yeah, that was a disappointing movie. Uh,
Yes, it kind of was.
I was expecting things to adhere to a quality that I was very familiar with from '90s level of crime movies. Were spoiled basically. And
Yeah,
then I go back to the Untouchables and I'm like, ooh, Enrico Federini. I love that comp that fuck, I'm so lost for words. The music guy, he's great. But then it's like
and Nico. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
but basically it's like cartoony in like all the worst ways. Like that whole movie is just like I can't take any of this seriously.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking goofy.
Fucking goofy. So,
It's your best. Losers always whine about their best. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen.
winners go home and fuck the prom queen. What are you saying there? Are you still out of shit? That's how he talks. Like the Sean Connery.
Yes, that is how he talks.
Does
I'm
anybody
aware.
want to stream their perspective for any spectators in the
Are there
VC? Was it Moko last time?
Alright.
Did you do it?
I did do it last time. I can do it again.
Mokoko.
Though it may not be best because my internet is going to be
What up,
cutting out intermittently.
boys?
Turning that
I
down.
don't know why my token isn't synced up. Okay, there we go. I'm resyncing it.
If
26
Moko
HP at level 2. Good God.
can't do it, we could get a Proas to do it.
I don't think my computer can handle it.
Oh, okay.
My
I see.
brothers, what are you up to?
What's your name? Crippling anime depression. Can I
I've
just
had-
call you Cad?
Okay, cool.
I turned you way the fuck down because we're recording a VOD. But
So what are you doing, brothers?
I don't even know what you're saying. Hello?
What are you doing, brothers?
We're playing D&D.
Dungeon Dragon.
Them, explain yourselves.
I will not. Someone will stream their perspective. Probably Moko. And we will
Okay.
continue on from that. But welcome back, everybody. Do we remember where we were last time in the game? It was about...
Ooh, can you guys like stream your shit
Yes, I will stream. Don't worry.
like right now?
It's
Yes, right now.
It's taking a minute for him. It's okay. Give him time. Give him time.
He's,
Uh,
I can try. Hold
he's
on.
that. He's special, right? I get it. I get it.
Moko
Yeah.
Moko's great. I like Moko.
Hey.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I will recap. The party started off in Sikaram, the gambler's den of the Dragon's Gullet, off in the northeastern corner of the Dusk Sea. With a job from an old druid, You did not just fucking do that. Who was that?
We just
That was me.
What happened?
I
I
wanted to
happened.
see what the delay was on the stream, so I decided to draw a PP on it. On the map.
Proas, I'm a little disappointed in you.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Oh,
I wanted to see how much lag there was. It's not that bad.
Proas.
Okay.
I would have
Okay.
expected
Type
something similar from Paper Guide or something, but not you. Come on.
Okay.
That was a call out because he's gonna watch this.
Oh,
Where is paper
Why
anyway?
is
He's
the
working.
place
Working.
called
Yeah.
literal
Oh.
new?
Ouch.
We all miss him. We all miss Paper and his silly little voice. But anyway, so you were all at 𝐂𝐚𝐭 𝐑𝐮𝐥𝐞𝐬, which is a big gambler's den. You got into a bit of a scuffle with some snake people, and you sailed out to escape on a job offered by a young druid from Littoral Nell named 𝐂𝐚𝐭 𝐑𝐻𝐿. The druid who hired you guys had a heart attack on the way there and died. You managed to make it to Dragon's Cove and bury him there, but not before his gripply buddy, Houdini, was grievously injured and was left to in the care of 𝐂𝐚𝐭.
Why
To
is
just,
everyone fucking dying around you guys? What the fuck? Are you like cursed?
We might be. Who knows?
Jesus fucking Christ. Also, the town is called Literal New.
Literal Nell.
Uh, literally new.
Literal Nell.
Uh-huh. Okay, I see. Okay.
And once we get started, I appreciate spectators, but not too much talky, because if you cut me off, I will have a roid
Big
rage.
Angie.
I get angy. No, it's just it breaks up the flow. That's the only reason.
You can just ban me outright because I'm a big talker when I'm drunk.
I mean, I could mute you, but I feel like that'd be disrespectful. But-
Yeah, but he's also drunk, so.
He's also drunk, yeah. But I'm still happy to have you here.
Thank you,
Anyway,
my brothers.
so you finish burying him, and 𝐂𝐚𝐭 basically lays it out that she needs a drink, so you're going over to the local tavern, and that's where we left off. If you have any inspiration that you got from a few sessions ago that expires, if you got it last session, you still have it. I don't think that counts for anybody here because it's all been used up. So this is our little map. Does anybody have the window muted? Can everybody hear the whatchamacallit?
Oh, there's music in the Roll20. Hold on, I cannot hear that.
Yeah, you
I
might have
cannot
to.
hear it either.
Oh, it is quiet.
It must be very quiet, so I will turn it up a little bit.
I can hear it.
There you go.
Which
Just a
means
little
the
bit of
spectators
atmosphere.
can also hear it.
Okay. So, Littoral Nell is a small fishing village just on the edge of the borderlands and the Savage Kingdoms to the northeast. It is frequently visited by trading merchant vessels from the free nations of 𝐂𝐡𝐚 and other parts of the world to do trade. It's considered by many to be a last stop for many on their journey, because as you recall, crossing the Dusk Sea is not a very trivial endeavor due to the frequent storms preventing lateral crossings. So most merchants travel long and far across the shoreline itself to get where they're going. It is isolated from most of the law of the land. Further south, there is the kingdom. Let me pull out my map. I swear I had this ready, and then I forgot. It's not showing up. Here, let me type map in the search bar. There it is. Okay. Yeah, Arkelos. The Arkelos Kingdom, further to the south, which is a pretty standard kingdom of the godless realms. They worship the tenets of chivalry and knighthood, the principalities of martial combat. Although their primary saint, Justitia, is said to have retreated from the world in the last great war.
So, who is their actual god?
There are no gods in the godless realms. There are gods, generally speaking, but with the fall of the Bakluni Empire, from which the calendar is still being used and reckoned by.
I cannot believe that there is in medieval / magical times there is no one who believes in God. That is actually impossible in big realms,
It is.
in big kingdoms.
It is not literally that. Plenty of people believe in gods. There's just no nationally enforced
no church.
religion. There's
Mhm.
traditions, there are gods that they call to, but very few places strictly adhere to worship of certain gods. Some places still do, but for the most part, the world has grown secular more and more as the years have gone
So
on.
you mean there is no?
So, anyway, that's a long ass tangent. You are. Oh, fuck, where's my thing? You're making your way into Littoral now. What time was it? Because I know you guys spent like 6 hours with the funeral.
Good night.
All right. Good night.
It should be, I'd imagine probably early morning, because it was pretty dark out when we got to the tavern, wasn't it?
I think if I recall, it was like midday when you were still at sea, and then when you got there, like to the cove itself, you spent about 6 hours digging up a grave. So it's like evening, 6 p.m. right around.
Alright.
So you move into the Nell. It is, relatively speaking, not very busy. Most of the townhouses and cottages are made up of wood and stone that only seem to be built for purpose and not for fancy in design. A few people are walking about here and there. Some guards are around every corner. You walk past a rather large causeway and move further in, and you can see just over, down closer, a large dock area with several vessels. Most of them worm boats of the longer variety, who seem to be built for combat and maritime war. There are a few schooners and merchant vessels docked as well. Some of them sporting the flag of 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐭, as well as the multicolored flags of which nation of 𝐂𝐡𝐚 specifically, though you do not recognize any one in particular because there's quite a few of them. You make your way over to a rather homely looking tavern that seems to sink down into the sand and stone and dirt below. It is single story, and on the sign it reads in plain common, "Father's Drink." Where is my thing? Open with
To the founder's drink.
to the Father's Drink. So, a rush of green silk blurs around Father's Drink. Kadash basically told you guys, I'm going to go check up on Houdini, and went back to Iraq's shack where he is still resting. Whereas 𝐂𝐚𝐭 has led the rest of you here. Well, here we are. And she just gestures ahead to the wooden door, which seems to have light and a few voices and mugs of ale being drunk, the sound of activity coming from within.
All right. Is someone opening the door? Are we going to go in? I would assume so.
I mean, yeah, I'd assume so. Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
I'll open the door.
All right. Thank you, good sir, for opening the door.
Oh, come on, then. Let's stop standing around like a bunch of louts.
Yes,
All right. I'll go in.
I could go for a drink.
A rush of green silk blurs around Father's drink. It's a cozy night in the tavern, and the open windows allow a fresh breeze to comfort the patrons and cool any tension in the room. You look about, and it seems to be mostly sailors dressed in very simple tunic and trousers. Most of them smell of the salt of the sea, and they're sharing around a few mugs of ale, seated at various tables throughout the room. Behind the bar, curiously enough, is a young woman with red skin, and protruding from her forehead are what appear to be goat horns that curl back. One of them has been shaved down to a stump.
A tiefling?
Yeah. Certainly seems like it.
What is a tiefling doing here?
That's assuming that they're even called tieflings.
That can be inferred, yeah.
Alright.
Why?
Bit far out, aren't you?
What's that? And Sycamore turns around.
I just brush it off, and I just go to the bar and ask for a drink while I wait for the others to quit dandying about.
I'll follow him over to the bar as well.
So Holden, Marius, you walk up to the bar, the tiefling behind it, who seems to just be mixing up drinks and handing them over to other patrons. Evening, gents. You look to be new in town, and I offer you a drink.
Sure. Bit far from home, aren't you? What's someone like you doing all the way out here? Bit remote, isn't it?
Why, it's for that very remoteness that I am here, good sir. Why? Do you have a problem with my kind?
No, not at all. I'm just curious. Never mind then.
Oh, it's nothing really. I know you always have questions when you see someone of my type.
But we don't really see them in the kingdom of 𝐂𝐚𝐭.
Yes, well, from my understanding, they tend to live in hiding. Here, though, can hold down a job just well enough. In any case,
Fair enough then.
could I offer you something in the local variety? Maybe some Guyana rum? Skipper's drink?
Something that won't get me a little too wet behind the beak. Something lighter. No
Just-
hard liquor today.
Just a buzz then. Very well. And she turns around and pulls up some bottles of alcohol that all seem very curiously labeled. And she starts mixing drinks up, getting to work. And you're just sitting there, sort of perplexed by it all. She seems rather comfortable here. And she makes an artwork. She makes an art out of mixing I don't know why. Like, let me just break off for a minute and say I'm like stumbling over my words very hard and I don't really know why. Maybe I'll loosen up later.
Sounds like you could use a drink.
I really could. I'm on my second can of Monster.
Hey, Monster Bros. Monster Import's so fucking good.
I like the imports. Mine I'm drinking the super dry, the nitro.
Yeah, I've actually got a can of that in the room over. I was actually about to crack that one.
It's like drinking champagne without the alcohol.
I wouldn't be that
Uh.
pretentious and say that, but it's got like a heavy lime flavor. I like it.
Oh, I love lime. Lime's like my favorite flavor ever.
So may I ask, why is a drink called Super Dry? Did I hear that right? I'm not a
Yes.
Monster enthusiast. Why?
Because
Um,
it tastes very dry, I guess.
it has
Okay.
it has nitrogenated water.
Uh-huh.
What the heck?
Okay, let me find it actually.
It's not carbonated; it's nitrogenated. It gives it a very foamy head, but it's actually a little flat.
I see.
Yeah, it's basically meant to induce
Hold on.
the sensation of drinking like a champagne.
Or like
Uh-huh.
something like Guinness. Guinness is nitrogenated, for example.
Yeah.
What flavor is Monster Super Dry? I'm looking it up on my computer.
It's got a bit of a heavy lime flavor, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I love
Citrus.
lime. Lime is like one
Lime
of
is
my favorite
good.
flavors ever. So, the
Whoa.
tiefling slides over a frothing mug of ale. It seems to be a perfect amber color that almost matches her skin tone. There you go.
You can mix a mean drink then. Let me have a taste. And I take a sip of it.
And it mixes well with the atmosphere. It's got that sort of sea salt variety with a hint of lime, since we were just talking about lime. But you can pick it out. It is a rum drink.
It's not bad, actually. Good job, then.
I guess I'll have one of those as well.
She slides you over a second one, prepared just in case.
Thank you.
Name's Gwyn, by the way.
Pleasure,
Mhm.
Marius.
Holden.
Nice to meet you, Marius. Holden.
Likewise. So, what's the news around town lately? Doesn't seem exactly like the most bustling place.
No. Nice and quiet, just like I like it. Except for the occasional goblin tribe here and there.
Goblins?
Ah, the
Well, better
Tidewaters.
than what we were just dealing with.
Let me see. And she closes her eyes and clasps her hands together as if in prayer. You must be from 𝐂𝐴𝐚 recently, yes?
Yep, and as you can imagine, it was a little too reptilian for our tastes, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, hopefully not too much.
Maybe a little too much.
Why?
Not exactly a fan of arrows being shot. My way, anyway.
She lets out a light chortle and kind of thumbs her nose and goes, "Don't ask, don't tell, eh? What goes in 𝐂𝐴𝐚 stays there." But
Tell
Hopefully
me
it
about
stays there.
Yeah, hopefully it stays there. It just did seem determined to follow us a little too hard.
in any case, I know you're asking the typical thing that most bartenders get asked about local rumors and the like. Truthfully, I enjoy my little isolated life here, but word gets around. Other than the occasional merchant vessel from Ket coming by with great stories of all flights of flavor and fancy, I could say that the Belgonaut are moving in. Something about a forest fire up to the northeast. We suspect their involvement. And I believe the woman you walked in with would know more. And more goblin sightings.
Mm.
Goblins. I hate goblins.
Aye. Nasty little buggers they are.
Aye, filthy too. You can smell them a mile away if you know what to smell for. Filthy beasts. I guess we'll ask our lady friend here about the forest fires then in a little bit. But for now, Holden, do what you're gonna do. I'm gonna enjoy my drink here.
Likewise.
So, are you staying overnight in the father's drink? She looks over at Holden.
I'll quickly glance over at Marius and say, well, we didn't have anything in particular planned tonight, did we?
I'm not too sure about that, no. I think we'd probably be staying overnight, but
Yeah.
considering how we got treated in Sakaram, you never know.
Well,
Yes.
she's listening attentively.
Mm-hmm. Yes, then yeah, well, we will be staying overnight. That doesn't sound too bad.
Well, then I've got a bit of a bad news to give. We're a bit full up at the moment, but I've been told to offer this to all new guests who need a night to stay. The Lady Sharon is offering a tour of the local Nell Keep with free room and board for anyone who's willing to put up with her for a bit. She kind of says that last bit under her breath.
Sounds like
Well,
we might need a bit of coffee for that.
Aye.
That might just be worth it then.
Shay's an eccentric feller, but totally harmless. We do
Let me
apologize.
guess, she tends to ramble on a little bit then.
Oh, she's got so many stories. Interesting stories, no doubt, but you have to garner at the veracity of them, yes. Often exaggerated.
What story isn't these days? I mean, you've heard the kind of bullshit stories sailors tell. Merchant vessels, pfft, those kind of jobs are dull as it gets.
I hear them often, but somehow Miss Sharon, she takes the cake.
Well, that should be a
Yeah,
bit of an
being out
interesting one.
on the water, being out on the water is a boring endeavor. It gives you a lot of time to think up fanciful feats.
Why do you think so many
supposed
sailors
to
are
accomplish.
alcoholics, mate? They drink heavily to cope with the boredom.
What a sad state of affairs.
Still, we've got a large influx of 𝐂𝐡𝐚 merchants, and they've all booked up every room. They usually like to get in just before the seasonal movements, as it were, of the Belganot tribes. We're not sure why the Belganots are so open in their projections of their sacking of the Nell. We believe it has something to do with their belief in celestial bodies in the stars, thinking that their gods bless them on certain periods of time, certain seasons. And as a result, many 𝐂𝐡𝐚ites who are looking for endeavors and mercantile opportunities will book out rooms just before. A few days from now, all those warships in the dock are going to move out with Lordella and attack a large influx of tribal folk invading in from the northeast. It's all relatively normal here.
Well, another day. Not our concern, that's for certain.
I surely would hope not. Still, rather this than Arkelos.
Oh yeah, what makes you say that?
Well, I've had to flee the country, I'm afraid. Simply for this, and she gestures to her horns.
Aye, sounds about right.
You look to be about from there, I'd say. And she is clasping her hands again. Northern
Yeah,
reaches?
Yeah, that's about right. Northern reaches of Arcalos. Hmm. No doubt the accent's what gave it away, that's for certain.
Aye. I also have a thing for it, though. In
A
any
thing
case.
for it,
Maybe you'll learn more later.
perhaps. Anyway,
She shrugs and says, "Well, it's nice meeting you all. Hello again, Iraq. Welcome back. I must serve my other patrons then."
Yes. It is. It's been a while. No drinks for me. I'm just here with these travelers. They're new to town, and I've taken it upon myself to help them out. They seem to be in some sort of a pickle.
Well, I'll trust you then. And she winks and moves over to another part of the bar. Start fixing up drinks for them as well. Sycamore, as soon as you've entered into the tavern, she immediately broke off to say her hellos to everybody else in the tavern. It's relatively small, though there are plenty of tables to go around. There's a large hearth fire. As I described earlier, the windows are open and the salty breeze is blowing in. A lot of interesting characters in this room. Most notably, off in the corner, you see a rather short-looking fellow, dressed up in all green, who's hunched over in their seat, sewing up something. They look to be a green trench coat and trousers, and a green top hat.
Quite eccentric.
Sat upon the wooden table in front of him looks to be a fake beard attached to a string that seems to be dyed red, and a rather large black chamber pot.
I'll
What's
be
the
right
story
back
with
if
him?
you guys want to take this one. I'll be right
Okay.
back.
Okay.
I can see him from where I am.
Yeah. So this is
Okay.
you gazing about the room.
Yeah.
As I said, there's plenty of sailors. Most of them just kind of wearing your basic tunic and trousers. This one's dressed rather eccentrically. You also see a rather heavy-set man walking about, bussing tables. And a woman who seems to be in her older years, maybe in about her 40s or so, late 40s, with a rather distinguished face, I should say. It almost seems witch-like.
Mm-hmm.
The Sycamore's just kind of moving about the room, saying hello, clapping people on the back, sharing a few jokes, and moving on.
I guess once I'm done with the drink, I'll step over. You said the guy in the green had a pot next to him.
Yeah, he had a little black cauldron that seems almost like as big as he is. Like he wouldn't be able to stretch his arms around it. And it's completely empty from the looks of it.
I wonder what that's for.
I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna walk up to him. I will clearly see that it is empty, as you said. However, I'm gonna still ask. So So, what you cooking in there?
Yeah? Cooking. Oh,
Yes, cooking.
he looks up at you. And you're not quite sure how old he is. He looks ancient, and he's got a rather large, round nose and a scrunched up face, of which these small little half moon spectacles sit upon. I don't recognize you, Sonny. Are you new here?
Yes, I am.
Ah, well. And he sets down the green trousers that he appeared to be sewing together with a thread and needle onto the table next to the fake beard. And he brushes off his hands on his overcoat, which is also green. And he extends it out to you. Roscoe Toscobble, Sultan of Parties.
Ah, Holden.
Just
Pleasure to
Holden.
meet you.
Ah,
Just Holden.
just Holden, then. Pleasure to be meeting you as well.
All right, I'll shake his hand.
He gives you a rather firm grip, despite how small he is.
Hmm.
You realize this is a halfling.
Ah,
You've heard of these folk. Rather simple. Not in the intelligence department, just very simple in the lives they lead. They often tend to be farmers and fishermen, content to live out their days smoking pipeweed and drinking. This one certainly seems to fit the bill. Roscoe Toscobble, he called himself. Here, I can type it
Yeah.
out. As for what I'm doing here, well, I'm preparing for the next big celebration.
hmm. So what? These are all costumes of sorts?
Aye. Something of a profession I'm in. Self-employed, of course. I don't really get paid, but they all love me for it. I swear I get me title. And he once again proclaims it with by puffing out his chest and his rather pronounced belly. As Sultan of Parties. Gotta keep the little buggers busy. And he gestures around the tavern.
Hmm.
Boring life being a sailor. Gives them something to get their minds off of it.
Oh yes, all those sailing, farming, all those certainly could certainly use some more entertainment.
Aye. So, that's sort of me purpose, I suppose you'd be saying. But it's fulfilling work.
I
Oftentimes,
can respect it.
I come up
Mhm.
with great games we all play in the tavern together. Drinking games and dancing and all the sorts. Though oftentimes by the end of the night it ends up becoming Toss the Halfling. Well, it is what it is, I suppose. He shrugs.
So let me hear one of these games.
Here, one of the games.
Yeah, let's hear something about it.
Well, that would ruin the surprise now, wouldn't it?
Ah, I see.
But if you want a bit in a sneak peek, and he pats the little black cauldron on the table, I'd be dressing up as a mythical fey creature for this upcoming celebration, you see.
Hmm.
Whereupon, I fill this cauldron up with a bunch of gold. Fake gold, of course, not real gold. And it'd be all about the patrons of this here tavern trying to get it.
Oh,
It'd be a bit of a truth and dare event. Maybe a bit of a tag and chase around, hide and seek.
hmm.
Of course, with a healthy amount of alcohol mixed in between. And he chuckles to himself, gripping his stomach.
I'll say, all right then. I'll leave you to your little preparations, and I'll be excited to see when it happens.
Aye, come by the father's drink. The start of the next week. In the evening. And he waves you off. Right then. And he sits himself back up onto the little chair he's been sitting in and gets back to sewing his little outfit together.
All right, I will return to my party then.
As
As you approach us, I ask you, hey, so what's the story with the cauldron? Is he cooking something?
Says he's getting ready for a little party. First day of next week in the evening.
Party? What sort of party?
Mm-hmm. Drinking party.
I'm not much of a drinker myself, but festivities are
Yes,
always welcome.
festivities as well.
Right. They brighten the mood, lighten the spirits of everybody in town, which is so welcoming. Otherwise, very drab town.
Ah. Well, yes. Being in the same place all the time can get rather slow.
The
as
monotony of waking up and being in the same village every day, surrounded by the same few people doing the same monotonous task, it's maybe a drain on your soul.
as you're conversing with each other, the rather large, heavy-set man who's bussing the tables walks by and says, "Aye, that be true. Though this is one of Roscoe's better ideas." And you notice, like, as he's kind of moved up to the two of you speaking, the smell of ham is just coming off of his breath. "You should have seen his last party. Something about wolves or something. We had to buy a slew of old furs and dress up and jump about in a big circle. Bad omen, I thought it. We called out to the full moon, as it were." And he kind of sniffles and picks at his nose for a second. Right, the kiddies who joined in, they had nightmares for weeks after that. This one seems more fun.
That doesn't sound like a nice time.
Well, he insisted on it. Some sort of idea. But this time, nothing of the sort. I said, don't go any further than that. That was too much. So, instead, we's all wearing green. We can get you an outfit, if you're interested. He's just slurring his words as he's talking to you.
Well, if that's a done thing, then I suppose we should join in as well.
Ah, right. He suppresses a belch. 𝐂𝐴𝐶𝐚𝐭, I own the place.
Oh,
And
the
holds out a
owner.
hand.
Holden. I'll shake his hand.
Welcome to the father's drink.
Good to be here.
How's your drink, anyway? Is it good?
It's quite good. Not too overbearing.
Aye. Gwen, she sure is a natural. Ask her if you need anything else. She's a peach. And he just waddles off to pick up some empty dishes at another table.
All right.
You get the sense that this is the regular lives of the people here at Littoral now. Very peaceful. very accepting. It's very unlike what you would say you're used to in most parts of the world. To have a tiefling out in the opening, moving about, and the local concerns being more about parties as opposed to the encroaching threats on their borders. You could certainly consider retirement here.
Yes, it's a peaceful town. In the time I've been here.
A little bit too peaceful for my taste. Need something with a bit more, yes, and surprise, intrigue, wonder. He humming.
I am humming.
He's humming. What is he humming? It's bad. We're under attack.
I'm looking at my little note sheet, and so much of it is blank, and I'm going, haha. But anyway, you share a drink together and some idle conversation. No, continue. Go ahead.
Oh, there's if a peaceful village isn't to your liking, then what would be?
Oh, I prefer to move around. Can't stay in one spot too long.
I am the
It's all
same
too
way.
samey.
I am the same way.
I'm back. I'm
Not
back.
much.
Back.
Welcome back. Not much to be done after so long in the same spot. The world is so big and varied. It's a shame to spend your whole life in one small town. Though it is safer. Traveling is dangerous.
Sycamore moves over to the group. Well, that's all done then. Should we get down to business?
Right.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, the purpose in which I've called you all here. I'd spoken to 𝐭𝐿 about a matter that is most important. As I've mentioned before, this town has a very special relationship with a dragon turtle called Lurdella. We think she's the last of all known dragon turtles, as far as anybody can figure out. They've long since either been hunted to extinction or gone into hiding. Who knows? But in any case, that relationship started with me. And she shrugs. A bit of a freak accident, really. I was wandering about the cove, picking seaweed, tending to the grasses there, when a group of goblins had accosted me. I was ambushed. I thought I was done for. When this great mountain of a beast erupted from the waters and gobbled all the goblins up before me. Quite the impression you make, really. But she was good company. And we made fast friends. And an agreement. The Dragon's Cove has, for many years now, been the place where she lays her eggs. It's been so long since she's last visited that a whole town had cropped up in her absence. So, she commissioned me to watch over her eggs and take care of them. And in exchange, she would protect the boats of this bay area. As a result, Littoral Nell has prospered beyond just a small hamlet into a fully fledged port town. She escorts many boats throughout the bay, prevents much of the turbulent winds and storms from the rest of the Dusk Sea from affecting travelers in this area. She even escorts whole flotillas of ships to go and fight the Bergunat further in the north. All in exchange that I guard her eggs.
So then the snake people stand to profit from not letting you do such a thing.
The
The
Snakekin,
question is, what's their angle in all this?
I'm honestly not sure.
Hmm.
The Snakekin, you see, they have every reason to gain control over Lurdella, whether it means capturing her young for their own purposes or killing her and selling her for what she's worth in death. I can't even imagine what that would be. But in any case, someone needs to guard her eggs. There's only about 2 days left in the season. So really, my job is almost up for a time. Unfortunately, though, I am being summoned away to deal with other matters. And she leans in. 2 days from now, a flotilla of ships will be escorted by Lurdella to attack an oncoming horde of Bergunot. I must also accompany them.
Meaning we gotta make sure that the eggs are safe in the meantime.
Aye. You would need to hold vigil in the dunes that night.
Hmm.
Hmm. Well, of course. Of course. She protects this lovely village, so it's only right that we help protect her young.
Aye.
Well, I hope we can find some coffee beans. That's for certain.
She takes a mug of ale that Gwyn had fixed up for her and downs it pretty quickly and doesn't even seem the worse for wear for it. These are obviously valuable creatures nesting in the sand, and while they might start hatching tonight, I really don't think it will happen. Just hang around and make sure nothing eats them.
And if they do start hatching, I mean, I'm assuming they can, manage by themselves, right?
Oh no. The life of a new hatchling dragon turtle is fraught with dangers. They're kept further up on the cove, buried within the sand, and as they hatch, they have to walk their way into the ocean while being preyed upon by all manners of seagulls and creatures, maybe even goblins. Who knows? That's usually why I'm there, to fend them off. Unfortunately, other matters that I have to attend to ended up being very poorly timed. And so I called out to Maguire in desperation.
Hmm. Well, sounds like we don't have any time to lose then.
Yep.
Aye.
Well, it's good that you guys didn't get too drunk.
Well, I'll be
Yep.
watching them tonight. It's the night after which becomes the issue.
If the night after they'd be hungover and not on their best games.
I don't think they're that drunk. Are you guys that drunk?
No.
Are you guys
No,
getting
we're
that
fine.
drunk?
We're fine.
I haven't made you roll constitution checks yet.
No, I've only had one drink, so come on.
I just had
don't
one
Enough.
drink.
Let's
Come on.
let's
I
not
can
get
drive the wagon. I will drive the wagon just fine.
Oh, right. And she reaches down to her belt and drops down some sacks of coin. I do pay well.
Ah, most excellent.
Well, that's good at least. All right then. Well, no time like the present, I suppose. Since you're doing the garden tonight, I might as well see about some supplies.
Why, they'd all be closed at this time of night, but you're welcome to acquaint yourself better with the town in the morning.
Hmm.
And she
So should we?
she slides over the coin pouches, and if you take the time to count them, each one has 50 silver pieces for each of you.
Ooh,
Uh,
all right. That's a pretty sizable sum.
All right. Let's see. Oh, it's a silver.
I'm only giving you this now because Maguire trusted you. I've
Ah.
had plenty of people who claim who would do the job, but then ended up cutting and running once the coin became involved.
Right. Yeah, well, that's why you only pay half up front, half after the job's completed. At least that's from my experience.
Aye. I could sweeten the deal, but we'll have to see about it later. In any case, I should turn in for the night. I believe you have arrangements already?
Yeah, we'll have to. What is it? Go talk to that one person, so that we could get some free room and board.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
hmm.
Right. Well, good luck with that. She's really a nice woman, just a bit lonely is all.
Well,
Okay.
I'll be
Surely it
staying
can't be.
at my house.
Iraq's like, fuck that. But then, if you think about it, Iraq, Kadash and Houdini are already kind of taking up all that space.
Ah,
Where the fuck is my coin pouch?
he lost his coins.
No, I didn't.
To
Where on
be,
the character sheet is it?
I go to inventory. In the top right of inventory, there's a little symbol that should say your silver.
Okay,
And you
yeah.
click on that.
Okay. Okay.
Iraq, you're just imagining what it would be like for you, Houdini, and Kadash to all share the same bed together, and you doubt you'll get a good rest from that.
Sleep in my own bed and be comfortable. But you guys have fun.
We
Well.
will try.
Well, I guess we need to speak to that lady then.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go find her.
Okay. She is in the tavern.
Oh.
She's surrounded, it seems, by a lot of children of varying ages. Boys
Children
and girls.
in the tavern?
Boys and girls from ages of about 5 to 12. I think the oldest looks about 14 or 15. Kind of moving about as children do, just bundles of energy, chasing each other in circles and sitting in cross-legged positions as she's guiding them to the best of her ability.
Guess I'll. Yeah. To continue.
She's rather frail, And like I said, she has a rather pronounced, almost witch-like face. Much older woman. And
Okay.
Damn, if she was a young woman, I'd say trad wife, but nope.
no.
Hag wife.
Hag wife, yeah.
As she seems to be doing her best to keep the children from causing too much havoc.
Might you introduce us this time? I'm whispering this to Holden.
All right. I'll walk over then. And say, "Oh, excuse me.
Yes? How can I help
I've
you?
I've heard that you've got some you got some way to get we can get some room and board for the night."
Oh, you're here for the tour?
Yes. The tour.
You and all the children here. You must be new. Are you travelers?
Yes, we're travelers.
Very well, very well. Yes.
What is that fucking accent?
I can
Yeah, you
set
haven't
you up
heard
with,
this accent?
I can set
You
you up
haven't
with
heard that
beds.
accent?
Oh, that'd be excellent.
I can set you up with beds in the keep. But you must be going on the tour with everybody else.
Yes, we'll go on the tour, don't worry.
Rightio then. We'll be out in an hour then. As
Did
she,
you just say an hour?
oh yes, of course. It's almost these children's bedtime.
Alright. Alright. Fine. Let's hope the house doesn't burn down in the meantime, all night.
Oh, it's made of stone. You've probably seen it already. It's the Great Keep. And she gestures in the direction. Bing bong it goes. Bing bong it goes.
I'm guessing it has a bell then. Alright, well, whenever you're ready.
Aye.
All right. Yep, in an hour.
If you recall, this is the same keep that Sycamore was talking about. The bell mysteriously rings despite nobody attending to it supposedly when a hero dies.
Mm-hmm.
And then it rang when you finished burying Maguire.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, an hour passes. Is there anything else you'd like to do before you head off? Basically, call it a night, quote unquote.
I don't have anything.
See if any of those snake people snuck in.
Mm.
Okay. You look around. There doesn't. So you encountered them once, but it is an encounter that will definitely stick with you for some time. They're perfectly symmetrical, strangely beautiful faces that melted away like candle wax as soon as the ruse was up. And as you look about the tavern, doing your best to scrutinize each individual face, it just seems to be the small imperfections of peasantry and sailors within the room.
For some reason, my worries aren't satisfied. Best keep my guard up. Alright, I guess that'll do. I guess I'll look around a little further, see if there's any signs of any fuckery, but other than that, I'll probably call it a night after that.
Yeah.
Like an investigation roll, maybe?
Other than like what's been pointed out to other characters, such as like the halfling who's sewing his little green outfit together, and Gwyn mixing drinks, a few other faces. This is a rather bizarre tavern for the patronage here, mainly because you would never see a tiefling acting so comfortably around this many people.
Yeah, what was the tiefling's name? You said it was Quinn, right? Gwyn?
When
Gwen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gwyn.
Okay. I'll have to remember that. Okay.
She's living her best life.
Yep.
But other than that, it just seems pretty standard fare. But yeah, after about an hour of finishing your drink, Gwen, you go to pay, and Gwen says, "Oh, don't worry. The first one's on the house."
oh, generous.
We get plenty
Mighty
of
generous
travelers.
of you. Mighty generous of you. It's much appreciated.
Aye.
That's
But
a good business strategy.
the second one is always double charged, though. And she laughs.
Ha! That's a good one, mate.
And other than that, though, you share some idle conversation, up to you, before you head out. I am going to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
All right.
So what, 15er?
What?
A 15 break? A 15-minute break?
Yeah, if you want to. If we can reconvene in 15 minutes. I'll pause the recording as well.
All right.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, well, that was it. I'm going to follow you guys and try to get a free place to sleep.
All right. I guess
I
we'll.
definitely don't want to have to sleep outside. It's uncomfortable.
So you rejoin with the rest of the party. Sycamore went her own way, and you, Miss Sharon, kind of just stands up and gathers the children about her and leaves the tavern, while the three of you kind of awkwardly follow at a distance. A few other adults join in. Some of them are elderly, but most of them are evidently like travelers, people who are just new in the area. And you exchange like some hellos and some greetings as you make the rather short walk up a cobbled path to a cliff edge on the cove towards the great stone keep, where the sound of the ocean begins to overtake you to the point where you're kind of having to shout in order to hear each other. The keep itself is picturesque against the horizon beyond you. The glow from the moon is lighting your path and making it seem like a great beast that's perched up before you as you enter its gates into a rather large courtyard that seems worse for wear. It's as if it hasn't been properly taken care of in generations. And Miss Sharon stops the group and turns to everybody who is convened around her. "Welcome, children and travelers, to Death Knell Keep." And she looks
Death Knell
To
Keep.
Death Knell Keep.
His actual name is Janvar's Keep, for the military general of the Imperium, who first settled this land in ancient times. It was built ages ago to establish a military outpost to further expand to the west into Amadeo. But they were stopped short by the intense jungle lands.
The intense jungle?
Hmm.
And as she's continuing about her, what appears to be a rehearsed speech, a lot of the children are, some of them are not even paying attention and they're just whispering to each other. A few of them are kind of acting conspiratorially. A lot of the older people in the group are just kind of nodding along and going, "Oh, that's nice." Now, and Miss Sharon just kind of continues on as if none of this is happening, just very caught up in her own act. Now, after the Imperial armies moved on, a group of settlers was left behind to establish it as an outpost. Amongst them were the noble 𝐂𝐿 family, who took up residence in the keep. And she turns about and moves on. Come along then, come on, and gestures them all to follow her. As you move underneath the great portcullis and open up these large wooden doors that are about twice your height.
Oh my
Alright.
god.
Follow.
Oh my god! She moves you about into the main area where several racks for weaponry, it's all empty now, have just gathered a bunch of dust and cobwebs. There's several stone staircases that move up to the second and third floors, and various hallways that stretch around, and doorways that seem to enter into all sorts of small rooms for various purposes. And she outlines each of them as she's walking around through them. And she continues her story. Now, nearby tribesmen attacked the keep and demolished some of its structure, but they ultimately failed to bring it down. In their defeat, it has been said that a local witch doctor is said to have cursed the family and the keep for all of the massacres they brought to these lands. No one knows for certain the name of this doctor, but ever since then, the 𝐂𝐿 family have been embroiled in a rivalry for leadership in the keep. Brother turned against brother. And she leads you down to a rather sequestered chamber on the ground floor, which opens up into a very high-ceilinged room filled with wooden pews and a pedestal at the far end that seems to have the symbol of Pelor, the sun god. And she turns about and faces the group. Now then, one of the 𝐂𝐿 brothers, a priest, was said to be holding mass in the chapel here, when his rival brother, and she gestures behind you all to the door you just went through, burst in and plunged his sword into him, butchering him in front of their whole family. And
Oh
Wow.
my.
a few of the children kind of gasp and are just looking about, slack-jawed. And Miss
Could you
Sharon...
repeat that real quick? My headset cut out.
You're good, man. One of the 𝐂𝐿 brothers, a priest, was said to be holding mass in the chapel when his rival brother burst in and plunged his sword into him, butchered in front of the whole family. It is said, and Miss Sharon kind of drops down into a suspicious whisper, that at the midnight hour on the day given to Pelor, you can hear the sound of mass echoing the halls before being abruptly halted by a choir of screams. And she pauses for dramatic effect. I should get rid of this fishing village shit. There we go. This will be better.
Could be. Maybe ghosts, specters, wraiths. Who knows?
Now, as a result of the mass killings taking place within Death Keep, its ownership was passed through marriage to the 𝐷𝐻𝐿 family. And she moves out of the chapel and kind of gesturing, come along now, come on, to follow her. She seems rather in a hurry to get through her shtick.
I listen carefully to the quiet area real quick. The area to see if I can pick up anything. The area where the alleged butchering happened.
Yeah, so as the group is moving on, Marius, you're kind of tilting your head in the area and just kind of listening in, thinking if you could maybe hear something. Roll. Oh, we're gonna roll dice in this D&D game. I didn't know if you knew that.
Oh,
Yeah.
We're finally starting. Roll perception.
perception. Oh my
All
goodness.
right. Perception.
This is just Marius since he
Oh,
stood
okay.
behind.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
I need to find my.
Wow. Do you mind if I roll that one more time?
If you'd like, it's up to you. I don't know if you have.
Okay.
Well, there
Damn
you
it.
go.
Okay, I'll take the 10 then, I guess.
You've got
Fuck's
it.
sake.
You've got a 10.
I totally forgot to pull up the website, the D&D Beyond.
Oh,
Give me a
whoops.
minute.
Slacking.
Nah.
It said that specters and wraiths haunt areas where great tragedies occurred. Seeing unexplainable things in my time on the battlefield. So this is nothing
What
new
the
to me, but the
heck?
question is there anything like that around here?
Where
I'm
are
just
my
muttering this to
characters?
myself.
Oh,
Here, let me add appropriate.
I'm coming.
Oh,
I'm
he
coming.
coming.
It's
Boy, he
loading.
coming. Boy, he coming. Marius, as the group moves on and you trail behind and stay within the chapel for a minute, you realize how easily
Here we go.
your footsteps echo along the walls of this sequestered chamber.
So making a listen check, right?
No, this is just for Hellbeard.
Oh,
Yeah.
a perception check.
Mm,
Oh, so I don't have to make a perception check.
You're good.
A little too quiet, unnaturally
Ah.
so.
The
Maybe there is
chamber,
more story than just a scary tale.
the chamber's been untouched for what has evidently been centuries. Although everything seems to have been left as it were, and the dust and cobwebs doesn't even seem to have been brushed up by anybody, even Miss Sharon, as if left there deliberately. You hear the sound of the group you'd left behind continuing about their tour as she explains the construction and usage and purpose of each room as they pass by.
I want to check one more thing. And I'm gonna see if I can smell any sort of thing, like even like a vague smell of like sulfur or something like that. Do you mind if I roll one more perception check?
Okay.
Nope, I don't smell shit. Apparently, I'm blind and like nose blind. Wow. Character straight up brain damaged. You know, if I get into this fucking Monster Hunter shit, I'm gonna need to up perception.
So, as you're sniffing around, it all just smells of dust. You think there's the tang of dry blood. As you turn, and for a moment, it almost seems as if a figure is hunched over the pedestal, draped in white robes dabbed in unnatural crimson. But you blink, and it's just an empty pedestal.
That wasn't no empty pedestal. Damn it. I don't have any weapons on me to fight such a thing, though. Could
Do I
something
hear a
like this be
mumbling?
dispelled?
Yeah, Holden, you're also trailing behind the group a bit, and you just kind of see Marius standing in the middle of the chapel, rather preoccupied with something.
Is there a problem?
Not now, mate. I'm just. Did you see that?
Well,
See what?
what is that?
Focus, mate. Just
Alright.
focus for a minute.
I'll focus.
Shh.
You take a look around.
Mm-hmm.
It seems a little creepy, but nothing out of the ordinary. Just a dusty old chamber.
Well, I can't say I see much of anything, though. I'll keep an eye out.
and I just quickly put a finger to my lips and just say, "Do you hear that?"
Do I hear it?
No, I don't hear. I don't hear anything.
Exactly. That's the worrying thing, mate.
Hmm.
And then I just move on quietly. All right,
Normally,
then.
it's a good thing.
No, this level of quiet ain't natural, mate. Something. I think there's more to this area than just a scary tale. But we'll worry about that another time.
As Marius, Holden, Iraq, you move back to rejoin the rest of the group. Holden,
Mm.
you can't help but feel a little put off by your traveling companion's sudden shift in mood. It's one of those things where maybe you don't believe it, but seeing how agitated someone else can be kind of puts you in high alert as well.
Hmm.
But you're not quite sure what it could be. Iraq, on the other hand, you are rather zen about the whole situation. And as you catch up with the group,
I
yeah, go
I
ahead.
think it being quiet good. I think it being quiet is a good thing, no? But yeah, I'll just follow the group wherever they're going.
You kind of join up with them as they've stopped before a master bedroom at the top of the stairs to the second floor. Now, the 𝐂𝐴𝐵RN family included Nelson 𝐂𝐴𝐵RN, his wife Mildred, and their 3 girls, aged 4, 6, and 10 at the time. Mildred was said to be mentally unwell in theory due to a previous miscarriage, and she had a keen interest in the arcane arts. She's said to have been calling upon powers beyond to protect her family and the keep. It's even been said that this called upon shadows in the dark to watch over her children while she slept.
You said she called upon the shadows to watch over her children. That what you said?
Yes, while she slept.
He thinks there's a little more in the shadows than she had expected.
As Miss Sharon moves down to the next chamber. Now, the children slept in here. The youngest daughter, Grace, was rather quickly stricken with disease and died some months later after moving in. Mildred had been distraught and had been known to sleepwalk and would wander the halls in her blue nightgown calling out to lost children. Yeah, what's up?
Sorry, I sneezed, and the
Oh,
sneeze didn't
okay.
pick up, so you only heard me say "excuse me."
Yeah, you're good.
Bless you.
Bless
Thank
you.
you.
And as she finishes this, she pauses again for dramatic effect. You'll note that at this point in the tour, a lot of the children have stopped speaking over Miss Sharon and are
Mm.
rather rapt by her story, almost entranced. Where you're standing right now, the hallway kind of stretches on in darkness beyond her and curves off into the distance. Since the walls themselves are a keep, they kind of go in a big circle around the courtyard in the middle. And none of the wall sconces are lit. You're simply going by the light of the moon through the small little shafts, window shafts, from which the ocean air is blowing in, causing.
You're not afraid of the dark, are you?
I've been around the dark more than enough. I'm sure I'll be fine.
And then I just Marius just goes to. We're still near the children's bed, but I assume the group is starting to wander off again, right?
Miss Sharon is kind of speaking about other things, like saying, like, okay, and next we'll be going over here.
All right, I'm gonna focus on the child's bed just for a second, see what I can pick up, if anything. I want to see. I'm trying to channel Constantine here.
John Constantine?
Yes,
Oh, hell
John
yeah.
Constantine, asshole.
I just read the arcs where he was introduced in Swamp Thing. He's a dickhead in those. But anyway,
that's really his entire character. He's a massive dickhead, but I mean, he has every reason to be.
he's
All right, roll
better.
perception.
He's better in Sandman. But yeah, anybody who wants to like further examine these things are welcome to roll perception.
I will further examine these things.
Yeah.
21.
We'll also peek. Perception.
I thought I clicked the button. There it
11.
goes.
It
I
could
got
be
21.
It could be going back. Okay.
I got an 8.
So with the 21, Holden and Iraq, you're kind of almost like indulging Marius at this point, who has become razor focused as he looks about. It's a rather small and modest chamber.
Mhm.
The bed frames themselves are made of metal, but there is no more mattress or sheets. And as you're looking around within the room, you could swear you see the silhouette of a man standing in the corner.
Mm.
Then as you kind of squint your eyes and take a closer look, you realize it's just a stain along the wall.
So it's
That's what the man wants you to think. He disguised himself as a stain. Clearly.
Shadows can
Weird.
play tricks on the mind, but they can also allow you glimpses. Let's see. I slowly approach the stain on the wall. What is this? You want me to roll another perception check, or are you just gonna give me this one?
You can roll again if you'd like.
Nothing. Dip. Nope. Zip.
You
It's a stain, all right.
Your brain is alight with theories. It could be anything from dried paint to something else that's been splattered along. It's been on the wall for so long that it's impossible to tell if maybe it's rot or black mold of some kind, though that would be a bit concerning if you were to spend the night here. Seeing how intrigued you are, though, one of the older couples, the adults that are also in the group, kind of chuckles to themselves and thinks like, oh, well, that's all in good fun, isn't it? That's the whole point of ghost tours, is to get each other scared, tell stories. Soon you'll be jumping at shadows. But it's all just for fun. Still, Marius, that image of the body over the pedestal in the chapel looked very real to you.
We have an inbred fear of the shadows for a reason. There's nothing I can.
The
more
shadows.
I can do for now.
The shadows represent the unknown. Things that you can't know, you can't see.
Now I'll move along with the group for now, since I'm guessing there's really nothing else I can do here, unless there's something like else I can look at.
Most of the rooms you've been led into is primarily made out of stone. The ceilings are rather low, and there's all sorts of dust and whatnot, and old furniture that's just been left, as if its occupants have just picked up and left all in one night. As you catch up to the group, Miss Sharon continues her tale. Now, after the death of Grace, some peace would last until Nelson suffered a fatal accident while out in town, and Mildred had believed the keep to have cursed her family to the hells. In the night, she took a knife to one of her daughters, Mel, and in the struggle woke the third daughter, Micah, who ran from her insane mother through the halls before casting herself off the highest tower in the waters below. And a few of the children at this point are like visibly shaken and kind of holding themselves tighter. Mildred, in her final act of anguish, took her own life as well, leaping from the bell tower. It's been said that the sound of children playing in the halls can still be heard, that those lucky enough can catch the wandering spirit of the Blue Lady, said to be Mildred in her nightgown, looking for her children. And she kind of allows for a dramatic pause to fall over the group once more. Everybody make a perception check.
Oh, all right.
Yippee! Perception!
5.
Oh, baby.
20?
I got a 21.
21? 16. So, as like Miss Sharon is explaining a few things more, she's cut off by what appear to be like you think you can hear footsteps coming from somewhere echoing around the halls. And then she cuts herself off and kind of looks up at the ceiling as the sound becomes audible for everybody in the group.
Oh.
As whoever is on the floor above passes through this hallway. She just kind of shares a look with everybody who's paying good attention.
I just look at her, and then I just look around, see what else I can see. And this is not the same room, I'm assuming. You mentioned the murdering mother. I wonder if that stain has anything to do with it.
Right. At this point, you've moved further down the hallway. So you're no longer like standing outside of the children's bedroom.
Yeah.
But you've kind of made your way around to the separate wing of the keep. And after like a moment is shared where she's kind of sharing an incredulous look with everybody for full effect to terrify the children in the group, she claps her hands rather suddenly, which causes a few of them to jump. Now then, the resting area is up ahead. I've got bedrolls laid out for each of you. Make sure you keep your door closed, though. You wouldn't want the Blue Lady to wander in and take one of
The Blue Lady!
But if you're all good little children, she'll have no reason to take you off into the night. And
Well, good thing we're not children.
she leads the group into a collection of rooms up ahead that are a lot more spacious. You assume they were probably used for other functions instead of sleeping, where plenty of bedrolls have been laid out for everybody. Now, for the adults in the group, we've got your own chambers here, though you'll have to share with a few strangers if you don't mind. And they kind of all like chuckle, a few of them nervously, just to kind of break the tension in the air.
Oh, no, of course not. Of course not.
Can't be too bad.
Marius and Holden, you enter into a room that's barely larger than a closet, but there is a nice bedroll and a small window to gaze out into the ocean beyond. And you're the lucky odd number, she tells to Iraq. You've got your own room. And she gives you the adjacent chamber.
Oh, thank you, my lady.
Now, enjoy your rest here. And don't think too much about all the noises you hear in the night. The keep is rather old.
One more thing. Do you have any salt?
Salt?
Or do you know I can find some more? I have some on me, but I need some more.
What do you need salt for?
I'll let you know later.
Well, okay.
Well,
the food getting a bit bland.
there's plenty of salt in the ocean waters. You may have to journey down to the cliff's edge to get some, but it's a bit dangerous at night. You'd probably have to wait until morning.
I'll just make do with what I have on me then.
Very well. And don't overthink it. Many of these stories you see, they tend to be a bit exaggerated. You have a
Less
good
so
rest
than-
then.
Yeah, you too. You too.
Yes, rest well.
All right. I'm going
Reconvene
to,
with you in the morning.
Yeah, I'm going to do something before, as everyone else is falling asleep, before I fall asleep.
Okay. So, like, yeah, she closes the door for each of you. She doesn't lock it, although it does have a lock. And you hear her footsteps disappear further down the stone hallway. You're on the second floor. A total of 3 floors. The third floor being the junctions that lead out onto the upper walls into the open air. And all of the children are sleeping together further down the hall from where you came. Some time passes. You hear the sound of the wind beating against the keep wall.
While I'm doing something. There's something I'm doing, yeah.
Yeah.
While I'm waiting for them to go to sleep, yeah.
You're just kind of preparing yourselves up for bed.
Mm-hmm. I guess I'll wait for him to finish his salt ritual. Not ritual, salt thing. Could be a ritual.
No, it's not what you think. Alright.
What kind?
It's just table salt. Good thing we pilfered that the guy's rations, so that way I do have probably plenty of it at this point.
Huh.
Alright. So I'm just readying my salt into a bag.
Why are you salting your bag?
No, I'm putting salt into a bag, like,
Okay.
you know, to make it easier.
I think
to
assault is a crime.
It is?
Oh my god.
Are you committing
No.
crimes over here?
No.
Mhm.
No, not really. I'm just preparing something. Okay, so I assume the children are all asleep at this point, correct?
Yeah, so once again, you each have your own assorted rooms. The children are like off in their own room down the hall. The other adults have kind of been split off, like two people per room. Marius and Holden are in a room, and then Iraq has his own room by himself.
Right. Okay, so maybe I could open the door, see if the children are asleep then.
Okay. It's a rather old-fashioned door made of wood. It's not been rotted away in all this time. You grab the hinge and turn it, and it creaks open just slightly a crack as you peer out into the hallway that's, at this point, grown utterly dark. You assume because the moon is being shadowed by clouds in the night.
A little too dark. Something isn't natural here. Alright, I slowly step out into the hallway.
Holden, you're watching Marius leave the room.
I watch him leave the room.
Okay. Marius, you step out into the hallway. You once again can hear the sound of your light footsteps echo up and down the hallway. You can hear whispering and idle conversation happening between all of the others in the group within their own individual rooms.
Hmm. I listen a little bit to see if I can pick up anything, but that's not what I'm primarily looking for.
Okay. Roll
All right,
perception.
perception.
Yeah. So, a majority of what you pick up on is pretty idle chatter, just a mixture of conversations, many of them just kind of thinking about their thoughts, how their day went, that sort of thing. The children, as you pass by their room, you kind of hear them whispering amongst themselves, kind of daring each other for how late they can stay up, and trading ghost stories with each other, saying like, "Oh, I could have sworn I saw the blue lady walking behind us at one point in the tour, but you didn't notice." Kind of that sort of thing, trying to scare the younger ones while they kind of protest. Just minor annoyances, that sort of thing.
All right. I'm going to. I assume there's a door frame, right?
For each door?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a threshold door. So like it's actually relatively airtight, these doors. They don't have like a massive gap at the top and bottom. It's actually been built into the frame.
All right. I'm gonna lay down a little bit of salt on the area outside of the children's room, and I'm also gonna hang the rest of it above the doorway, like in the door frame.
Okay.
That
Does,
should.
does that work?
Who knows?
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see about
I
Yeah.
that. Huh?
suppose we will.
In alchemy, salt is a purifying substance. Should work if only for a little bit. Keep any nasty little
Hmm.
specters away.
What if they just go through the wall?
Doesn't really work like that, mate.
Ghosts could go through walls.
Iraq is just
I'm not there. Never mind.
Iraq is just like peeking his head out, just being like, "What are you doing?"
Why? Just like I wanted to know what the salt was for, and he got the salt.
So-
What the hell's going on?
Marius, as you're kind of stooped over, going about your work doing this, you could have sworn you heard footsteps again coming from further down the hall. Though the chamber is echoing so much, you couldn't say for sure if it's happening behind you or further ahead of you. It's just somewhere.
I take a small breath and I see if I can focus. Another perception check.
Okay. Are you just kind of, because you don't have dark vision, are you just kind of squinting your eyes to see if you can pick anything out?
Yeah, or see if I can determine the direction.
You slow your breathing down and try and clear your senses, isolate certain sounds, and do your best. You think you see a glimpse of movement on the far end of the hallway, turning into another chamber, off in the direction you're currently facing, not behind you.
Hmm.
It's as if somebody had very quickly ducked around a corner to look at you, and as they noticed you noticing them, quickly moved. But you did sense something in your peripheral. I don't know about you. Let me just dispel with it for a second that I kind of have phasmophobia, like unironically, and I genuinely have like this weird sort of thing where if I see shit out of the corner of my eye, my brain just kind of goes crazy. It's that
A lot of
instinctive.
people do that. Yeah.
It's that instinctive lizard brain thing we all have to be wary of predators.
Mm-hmm.
And so for a while, it's like that type of shit.
The difference is Marius just isn't losing his shit only because, well, he's a soldier. He's seen plenty of fucked up shit. So
Yeah.
God. Okay, so I after I finish my work with the salt, I go up to I go and see if I can slowly, carefully approach what's going down the hallway. I don't want to wake anybody up.
Okay. Roll stealth.
Oh no! I meant like just take my time. But okay, I'm at a disadvantage on stealth, by the way, because of my
That's being
chainmail.
stealthy.
You did.
It's being
So
stealthy.
you don't have your chainmail on.
Oh, okay. Then let me re-roll that. Okay.
Well, no, that'd just be a flat roll.
Oh, okay.
So, despite your best efforts to move about quietly, the sheer silence of the keep itself is causing your footsteps to echo up and about the chamber. You notice that in doing so, you can kind of hear raised voices coming from the children's room as if to confirm some strange suspicions they were having. But in any case, you very carefully and slowly move in the direction of where you saw that movement. While this is happening, Holden, Iraq, what are you guys up to?
I'm waiting.
I'm
waiting for
I'm laying
Marius to
down.
finish up.
I'm laying
Also-
in bed.
hmm Also, Mr. DM, check your DMs
I did see that.
for me.
Yeah. I saw
Okay.
that.
This is going to quickly turn into the Grudge.
Yeah. Marius, as you get closer, you know that it ducked off to the left, and so you look left, and you reach the point where you think that they ducked into a room, only to find that the chamber that this figure disappeared into has been bricked up and sealed off long ago. There's no door, it's just a threshold that's been filled in.
Now, why would they do that? Something sealed inside, maybe? Something that they didn't want to get out? Something like a memory lost? Something that they wanted to forget? This place is definitely cursed. Can I dispel it? Maybe. But I need to find... But whatever I could use to dispel the curse, it no doubt would be in this room. But I don't have that kind of equipment on me. I'll need to ask about it tomorrow. Maybe, but how would I get in there? Because it's not like nobody's gonna notice. I see if there's any sort of like, maybe it's a, if there's any sort of way to look into the room. Like you mentioned it, it's just a room, but like you mentioned that the entire doorway is sealed off. So there's like maybe a gap in the brick or something.
Oh no, there's no gap at all. It was once a room, has been sealed away a long time ago and hasn't seen any use since.
So, but the room still exists. It's just been bricked up. Then the doorway.
Possibly.
I wonder if there's anything else I can do here. Okay, I'll stay in the hallway for a little while and just sit down and see if I can, or rather more like crouch down, see if I can wait and see what comes, if there's anything that'll come out of that room.
Okay. Holden, Iraq.
I'll wait.
Do I-
I'll wait for him.
Oh,
Do
and
I
I'm
hear
keeping
him?
my sword ready, by the way, just FYI.
You hear
Do I hear him fuffing about outside?
Yeah, you hear Hellbeard kind of moving about. Well, not Hellbeard. You hear Marius moving about because you did hear the door open, and you're kind of hearing him mutter to himself as he's moving about.
I'm gonna go out and see what he's doing.
Iraq, as you
Hey.
you slowly open the door from your chamber, and Marius definitely hears this as well. You kind of turn and see him peeking his head out from the door.
What's going on out here?
I
It's late. You're supposed to be sleeping.
put my finger to my lips, and I point to that bricked up doorway, and I'm just saying, I'm watching.
You're
Listen.
watching the wall? That's a wall.
It's more than you think, mate. Now, you should get some rest.
What? All right, suit yourself. Holler if you need help. Ooh. Oh no! Don't turn around.
Iraq is just saying that to Marius.
Yeah,
Knock
I
it
said
off,
don't turn around.
Knock it off, you blighter.
She's right behind you.
If you're taking the piss, mate, I can assure you, I wish I had no reason to take this shit seriously.
My Discord.
I'm waiting for someone to type. Thank you. Okay.
Skulk back into my room.
Marius, roll perception. We're getting a lot of these out now.
I really will need when I get the chance, I'll need to tag this as a skill, a specialty.
I don't. It works a little differently in 5e, if I recall.
Is there any way to level it up?
I think so. I think it depends. Like maybe, like taking a feat as a fighter, because I know rogues, they're basically the skill monkey. If you wanted to like class into that, Tears of Lost Socks could probably tell you more. I'm blanking at the moment.
Honestly, I kind of wish I didn't take fucking history. I wish I took perception instead.
Yeah, rogues get a lot
only
of
use
skill
it-
bonuses. Oh, bards.
only
I
use
think
it
bards
2
also
times.
get like half proficiency in everything.
Okay. I roll a 14.
So, Marius, as you turn back in the direction you were looking, you think you see a blue cloth dart by your vision.
In what direction?
To your left. So where you're standing, you're about 15 feet away from a junction in the hallway where you could go either left or right. And it goes from your right to your left past your hallway. And it was like as if you just missed it. As if it was in mid motion, and as you turned your head, it had just disappeared past you.
All right, so what's down the left hallway? Because that's where it went.
Right. So as you move over, slowly, are you gonna like move? Are you gonna peek over, or are you just kind of moving right up?
I'm gonna move.
Okay.
Actually, maybe peek first and then move.
Do that horror game thing where you peek behind corners.
Yeah. They can't hurt me when I'm leading. I have invincibility frames.
The hitbox is still behind the wall, so you're safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. You lean very carefully, very slowly, to peek over. This is the hallway you took to get here. And it seems to just stretch on into the edge of your vision. You're in utter darkness at this point.
True, but my eyes should have at least adjusted.
They have adjusted a little bit. That is true. And in this moment, as you're kind of peeking over through this hallway, the moon peeks out from the clouds as well and offers just a bit of light to come through the windows in this hallway. And you see just sort of a dance of shadows being played across the floor from the effect of the windows, and you see 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐭 at the end of the hallway, moving about as if a zombie. he hasn't even noticed you. His arms are drooped to his side, and he's dragging one of his feet. It looks as if at any moment he's about to lose his balance and fall over.
I carefully approach him. I'm still in my leather armor, by the way, since I have that underneath.
Yeah.
I carefully approach him. I say, and I just mutter to him. I'm like, "Hey, you all right there, mate? You don't look too well."
He doesn't respond to you, and it occurs to you just then how strange it is to see him here.
I then ready my sword. I'm like, "Oh fuck."
He had to have really trailed the group this entire time to have gotten this deep into the keep without you noticing him, and he just shows up, and you don't remember the keep being as labyrinthian as it seems now. As I described earlier, it's just a big circle, a big square keep. And yet, you've taken a lot of lefts and rights at this point. Holden, as you finished what you were doing, you see Marius kind of disappear around the corner in the direction of where you threw it. And you're waiting for something to happen. And yet, there's just a long pause of nothing.
I'm gonna walk out after where Marius went. I'll say, Marius, are you looking for something?
Your voice echoes down the hallway. There's
Do
no
I hear it?
response. You do not. Holden, as you're kind of waiting to hear Marius's voice, you hear another voice, an older man. Why did you kill me?
I'll respond. Well, I didn't have much of a choice in the moment.
That's a lie.
Oh well, maybe if we backtrack and say the totality of choices, maybe. But in that moment, I had very few options.
Does it not perplex you? These choices you've made, these sins that crawl on your back, and you feel the voice get closer, as if the cold breath is iced up against the back of your neck, causing the hairs to stand up on end. Is that just a mask you wear of confidence, of bravery?
Well, if I didn't wear it, I wouldn't have much going for me. I need something to help me out here.
You killed me. My life ended at your hands. Why can't you turn and face me?
I'll turn and face him.
You turn around.
To my best ability.
You turn around and there's nothing there. Though you do see a blue nightgown off in the distance, as if it's glowing. And the sound of children playing somewhere off in the distance. But you blink, and it's gone.
I'll tell myself must be Marius's ramblings getting to me, and I'll step back into the room.
Must have been
Great,
the
so
wind.
I'm about to have to face a fucking zombie.
Oh, must have been the wind. Yeah.
I'm so glad I didn't leave my shield behind. Holy fuck. I had my shield and leather armor.
Iraq, you hear a disturbance in the room.
Gosh.
A mess of footsteps and moving about and some voices, making it rather difficult for you to fall asleep.
I get very annoyed. I go outside. Hey, keep it down. Some of us are trying to sleep.
You just see Holden standing in the hallway.
Holden, what are you doing out here?
Seems Marius has wandered off somewhere.
Oh my gosh. Well, I saw him over in that. I'm whispering, by the way. I'm just gonna speak at full volume, so
Mhm.
it's not hard to actually hear me.
Yeah.
I saw him over in that direction. I point to where I last saw him.
Is that where I last saw Marius? Or is that a different direction from where he points?
It's the same direction.
Okay.
Just kind of went around a corner.
Well, should we take a peek
Try to
over
go.
there then?
Try to go find him in this labyrinth. I suppose so, but I'm probably gonna get lost.
I will pull out some. What do I have in my inventory? Ball bearings. I can use my ball bearing trail secret ability.
In the dark, you're gonna put ball bearings on the ground in the dark.
Yeah,
Well, at least he knows where they are.
Uh-huh.
it's one. It's fine. Just one ball bearing. I ain't tossing the whole bag down.
Okay. Do we have any rope instead that we could use?
Yeah, that could work as well. Rope has 2 hit points. I did not know that.
Oh,
I've never
interesting.
looked at the rope description.
As you're both
All
kind
right.
of deliberating, you hear the sound of footsteps once more coming from above you.
Mhm.
Once, a coincidence, probably the wind. Twice, a bit strange, but this is an old keep. Though this is rather persistent now.
Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Oh shit.
Hmm.
This van just passed by my window. It has their the front of
So it was all the fan. The fan was making you hallucinate. It was pouring carbon monoxide fumes into the keep.
yeah. No, like their whole front end was crushed in. I was like, damn, dude, get that fixed.
Jesus.
But anyway.
Bro, when I see people driving around like that, I get so nervous. I'm like, I know that you'll just hit me.
I live in a neighborhood that's full of people who just have just damaged vehicles where like they got crushed their front end or their back end, or they have like Naruto stickers on their window. It's rough.
Yeah, that's the hood, my friend.
But they don't bother me. So but anyway. Holden and Iraq, you both kind of look to each other as if like we both definitely heard that. It wasn't just us seeing things.
Well, should we go at least find Marius?
Yes, I think we should.
All right. I will get. I mean, I only have 50 feet of rope. I guess I'll use the rope until I run out.
Okay.
I will leave a tripping hazard on the floor intentionally. My plan. Okay. Yep, I will. We'll begin going in the direction we saw Marius and leave the rope. And yeah, and lay out the rope back to the rooms.
Okay. Iraq. Holden's doing that. And what are you doing?
I am going to scout out in the direction that he went to see what the layout is.
So you're gonna push ahead of him then.
I can't
He's,
wait for this reveal.
Setting up.
What?
Go ahead. Sorry.
I think Proas, you cut out. What, one more time?
I'm gonna scout ahead, like look around the corner to see if I can see him.
Okay.
Straight up Resident Evil shit at this point. Zombies in a fucking keep.
So like are you pushing ahead of Holden or like kind of leaving him be with his breadcrumb?
How far ahead of me, are you?
Like 10 feet.
10
Like
feet.
10
Okay.
feet. I'm gonna stay within 10 feet of him, but I'll go in front of him.
Okay. So you move up to the corner, you peek left and right. There's nobody there.
Okay, so he either went left or right.
Now, I have a question. At
What do
this
you?
point, would I be fighting with a zombie or no?
We're not sure what the fate of Marius is yet.
Oh.
Oh boy.
I'm holding you in suspense.
Yeah.
Okay, so the hallway splits. We can either go left, right, or split up. And I'm not very fond of splitting up.
Let's stay together. I think that's good.
Let's go right and walk until we're out of rope, and then we'll try left
Mhm.
until we're out of rope.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's straight up this, Ahmad.
What's up?
VC no mic look.
Okay.
It's literally that.
Let me scroll down.
See this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's definitely that
Difference is-
vibe. Oh, man.
Yeah, difference is she didn't have a sword and she wasn't a trained soldier.
Is that that's the first movie, right? Or is that
Yes, that's the first movie. Fuck the other movies.
that movie kind of fucked me up when I first saw it. But anyway,
It fucked everyone up.
and I watched it recently too, so it was like completely divorced of the whole thing. But anyway,
Yeah, the hype.
Holden and Iraq, you begin trailing a rope behind you in an effort to not get lost as you just move about. You get to about 50 feet before you run out of rope, although Iraq, you also have some rope. You could extend it if you wanted.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I will do that.
By this
Tie the ends of the rope together.
By this point, the moon has given you sufficient light to kind of see where you're going, though occasionally you feel as if the shadows are playing tricks on you as the moon moves in and out of the overcast clouds. It kind of creates these weird patterns on the ground coming through the windows. And then you hear
Spooky.
the sound of a woman. Children, where are you? Coming from behind you.
Oh.
Turn around to see who's behind me.
You see, off in the distance, about 40 feet away, a woman in a blue gown.
Oh.
Standing there. She almost seems to glow in the moonlight. Her face is downcast as if her long black hair is covering it. You can't quite make out her features. Though she's not holding a knife, she's empty-handed.
Hello. Have you seen our friend?
There's no response.
Okay. Well, I'm not a child. The children are safely sleeping in their beds.
Yeah. Obviously not looking for us.
It continues to block your path.
Guess we'll go the other way then.
As you
All right,
begin,
we'll do I would like to do a fake out, so we'll go the other way, but then I'll look back and see if it's still blocking as we go the other way.
As you turn your back, you hear the sound of light footfalls as if to run up right behind you.
Oh. I'm looking back.
And you turn around and you see the woman in the blue gown much closer now. She throws her hands out and just kind of does a banshee-like scream at you, which echoes around all the hallway. And it's Miss Sharon.
I knew it.
Though I can't make you role play this out whether or not that actually fucking scared you or not. Ah!
Just imagine you just make a slight noise and she straight up fucking pulls some grudge shit.
Jesus. I have
Yeah.
to go to the bathroom, guys. I will
Alright.
be right back.
I'm gonna-
Don't kill me.
I'm gonna go piss as well, so we can.
Okay.
So I fucking knew that this was gonna happen. Like,
Hell yeah, I love straight up horror. By the way, it's one of my favorite things to do TTRPGs of. But anyway, I'm back. Hello.
how appropriate that my
Yay.
first major kill will be a fucking monster.
Well, you never know yet.
Oh. It's the witch's life for me.
You're basically following Kadash, who's walking around like a zombie, and you're not quite sure what's going on there.
I snapped my fingers a couple times, tried to get his attention, although I carefully keep my distance, of course. Can I roll, like, do I notice anything like rotting flesh or anything like that?
I can have you roll for it once Proas gets back.
Yeah.
I want everybody to be present for, because this is I have fun doing this, where it's everybody kind of gets in the mood for it. That's one of those things where it's like I can do all that I can, but ultimately players don't actually get scared unless they choose to roleplay getting scared.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. Like,
To be fair,
imagine
though, this is
yourself being
tense.
scared.
Yeah.
To be
Let's say
fair, though,
that.
this is tense, I will say that.
Yeah, it's good. I like it. It's good.
Yeah, it's really fucking good. So don't, just because we're not screaming,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
because
yeah,
we
yeah,
don't
yeah.
have any actual visual input on this. It's just purely imaginatory, so
Yeah. Which that's the
it's
fun part.
definitely intense, though.
That's the fun part. That's like what I was mentioning, because like that's why you go on ghost tours. Even if you don't believe in ghosts, it gets you in the mood of just like, ooh,
Yeah.
I got a chill down my spine. I played a Curse of Strahd game very briefly, where my entire goal was to somehow actually scare the players, and I got pretty close a couple times, 2 or
Ooh.
3 times. But everybody responds to horror differently. So sometimes they clam up, they don't say anything. Other people they'll like start cracking jokes to like diffuse the tension, you know. So it's always a crapshoot with whatever group you get. But I have the most fun describing it as a DM, the horror stuff. So we'll just wait for Proas to get back and we'll continue.
I am back.
He's
Okay.
What I
back.
miss? What I miss?
Nothing. We
Did we
waited
get
for you.
killed by the ring girl?
We waited for you.
We waited for you.
We waited for you, buddy. Let's
Is
continue.
it just me, by the way, or is there also a disturbing amount of hentai about the ring?
I mean, I'm all for it, to be honest.
What are you disturbed about, huh?
I like it.
No, I said disturbing amount. I didn't say there was disturbing.
There should be more.
Yes,
Yeah,
and that there
yeah.
should be more of it, not
I agree.
less.
Let's continue. So,
So
Marius.
lay down.
Yep.
Marius. You see 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐭 shambling out in front of you about 20 feet away, but moving with purpose down the hallway, as if they know where they're going, but their head is just kind of lolling to the side.
I just quietly follow them, but I observe what they are. Like I see what they're looking like. Like, see, is this actually 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐭 or is this like something else? I want to take a look at them.
Okay? As you get closer, roll perception. So, you can't see through him, and he doesn't look dead or rotting or any of the usual signs you would expect. And as he moves along to another split in the hallway, he makes a right turn, and you can see that his eyes are closed and his mouth is hanging wide. And he starts to mumble out something. And
I
you just
listen and see if I can understand it.
You just hear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then there's a pause. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I try to see if I remember. What wasn't there like? There was 9 people that died, right? Here, in this place, if I remember correctly.
There was an unknown number because the 𝐂𝐴𝐚 family, per Miss Sharon's story, are said to have gone at each other's throats. A great rivalry of succession over who would inherit the keep, and many people died as a result. Whereas the preceding family afterwards, they had a husband, a wife, and 3 little girls.
Maybe a history check would help.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, let's see.
I guess it would just be you remembering what Miss Sharon had basically just told you.
Oh
earlier
yeah,
in the
but
day.
being able to infer based on historical knowledge, because history does have plenty of patterns to it.
Okay.
Or I could just suck a dick.
So with a 9 in history, you're not quite sure what 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐭 is saying. It just sounds like nonsense, but you're certain that he's there. He's having a physical effect on the world. Evidently is sleepwalking. 2 is in the corridor. 1 is in the study. 3 is in the catacombs. 5 is asleep.
Could you repeat that for me, real quick? I gotta write this down. Okay.
Mr. Scary Monster, please repeat what you just told me.
I was telling you as a DM, Ahmed.
2 is in the corridors. 3 is in the catacombs. 1 is in the study. 5 is asleep. By the dusk of Letherna, the great keep of death. And you realize he's turning and moving away and counting up to 9 again on repeat as he moves down a spiral staircase.
That is 9. What does the 9 figure into this? That's 11 people. Wait. 5 asleep. There's 2 in the corridors. 1 was in the study. That's probably me. 2, that's probably my companions. There's 3 people in the catacombs. Unless... And I'm trying to see if I am in the catacombs, actually. I'm guessing I probably am at this point.
At this point, you're still moving about in the corridor on the second floor, but you're watching as Kadash, despite sleepwalking, is rather adeptly taking each step down the spiral staircase to the ground floor and the basement level.
Okay, I think it's time I put a stop to this. I don't want this motherfucker... I'm gonna see if I can slap him awake at this point.
You've been kind of keeping your distance, and as you move
Yes.
up, yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna move up, yeah. Move up what? What happens?
You move up as he's like begun to disappear around the edge of your vision of the spiral stair, and he is gone. And it's just you within the spiral stair. It feels rather claustrophobic, and you hear an echoing coming from further down of what sounds like a call and response. A line is spoken, though muffled, and then a whole group of people are responding in kind, and it goes back and forth in this way.
I'm gonna go down there then. Very carefully.
You're inching
Of course
your
with
way.
my blade drawn, yeah.
You're inching your way down the spiral stair with your blade drawn. Holden and Iraq, you're standing there before Miss Sharon in a blue gown. Yes, well, I sure hope I scared you fellas. Did you enjoy your time here in the keep?
Oh yes, it was. That was good. I enjoyed that thoroughly.
I mean, I'm enjoying my time, but we seem to have lost our friend.
You guys got pranked.
Well,
It's just a prank, bro.
it's a rather small keep, you see, so you shouldn't get too lost. Thing is, I made it all up, you see. The whole story, everything. It's just something I like to tell people to scare the kids, help pass the time.
My goodness.
I even picked up a cantrip, you see, and she like waves her fingers about, and it causes like some like little firecrackers to kind of appear above her hand. All the footsteps, all the little noises, really sells the effect. No, but rest assured, there'll be no ghosts in this keep, none at all, except the ones you bring with you.
Is this gonna be a moment where it's like, because of what she did, the beliefs are actually gonna bring this fucking shit into reality? Oh god.
Who knows?
I certainly hope not.
This is either about to get really stupid or really ugly real quick.
Though, according to Miss Sharon, there were never any ghosts in this keep. The whole history that you learned was just a story she made up. Though Marius doesn't know that. Iraq and Holden do.
Yep.
Anyway. You should best be heading back to bed, though.
Oh boy. So I'm gonna have no plans.
Alright. You know what? I've been wanting to go to sleep this whole time anyway.
I'm sure you'll be back soon enough. If he's not back in a bit, I'll go out again and look for him. I'll look for our good friend, our good buddy.
And then you're gonna find me staring at a wall and you're just gonna get fucking killed from behind.
Well then. Shall I lead you back then? She's looking at Iraq.
Yes.
Oh, very well. I'll leave you to it then. Just don't wake the children.
Mm-hmm.
And she nods at Holden and leaves you there alone in the hallway.
Oh well, I'm gonna go back to the room first and then go out again in a bit. Yeah.
Okay. And she leads you back to your rooms. And as you're doing so, a lot of the tension is released for you. As you think, well, all those footsteps, that was all executed rather well. She's a great performer. But certain things don't quite add up. If all of these things were caused by her, what about the old man behind you?
Oh.
That's
Yeah.
very personal ghost.
Mhm.
And she had only just met you.
A ghost?
Well, she did say that we also our own ghosts will come out. So
Though she did phrase that
Yeah.
as a joke.
yeah, but I'm not going anywhere with the but.
Just ... trailing off.
Unless
That's a little silly.
Marius, you feel as if this spiral staircase has gone on far longer than it would make any architectural sense to.
I've been in many keeps and castles. This spiral staircase should have ended a long time ago by now. What the hell is this place? This isn't. Is this magic, maybe?
The midnight mass that you're hearing echo through the hallways begins to take a darker turn as the hymnals you would presume are being dedicated to Pelor and the good gods that have long since departed from this land are then replaced by the occultic and the black of the abyss. As you find yourself before the chapel.
And what do I see in the chapel?
It's empty. But you feel a reverberating pressure as if the air itself is a great weight that's resting upon your shoulders.
I grip my teeth and grip the blade of the hilt of my sword, and I keep pressing forward. There has to be a reason. This isn't natural. Something is here. Something really is here. What was 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐭 doing? What the hell is going on?
A voice that makes you jump appears rather loudly from behind you. Do you know what you do? Every time you trounce about with our family name, it reflects poorly on us. And you turn and see your father, draped about in the robes of his office, a long gray beard and balding head, wrinkles about his face, a warrior who's spent many times politicking for his local land.
Hardly gallivanting, father. I was given an assignment I can't tell you about. We discussed this.
That look in his eyes is one you know very well, of pure contempt and abject hatred that's being held back by nobility and principle. You would watch your tongue. The blood that binds us, that ties us together, is a privilege. Bastard born though you are, it binds us. It harnesses you to my will. And though you do not appreciate the fact, it binds my hands. And he wrings his hands together and grips them into fists. You are protected from so much. And that protection exists by the honor you scorn. And he just steps closer to you, practically frothing at the mouth.
The honor of what? Wearing a fancy title and a fancy suit? There's no honor in what you do. Honor is in serving by the side of your comrades like a true warrior should.
My position is to rule. Yours is to not exist, to stay out of our way. Why must you continue to seek being exceptional? And as this conversation is happening, he's kind of pressing closer towards you, and you find yourself backstepping to kind of stay out of his ire until your back hits against the pedestal at the far end of the chapel.
No. And then I realize this and I remember what exactly was happened at the pedestal. And I ready my blade. I snap back to my senses. I'm starting to realize this is not possible. Because there's no way he'd be here, right? I'm starting to my skin breaks out into a cold sweat as I ready my blade. And I'm starting to realize the implications.
You feel a warmth behind you and the trickle of liquid dripping down onto the stone floor beneath you. It's brushing against your back.
I step forward and start to do a backswing.
As you turn, you see a priest hunched over the pedestal in white robes, blotched and stained in red, as a massive sword has been skewered straight through him from behind and sticking to the pedestal, keeping him there. His arms are hunched over and hanging, trickling blood down from the tips of his fingers onto the marble below. His face is staring up at you. Its mouth is distended in a gape, and its eyes just white orbs that have rolled into the back of its head.
I stop looking at it. And then I realize as soon as I see that he was stabbed from behind, I stop looking at it. I immediately swing back towards my front.
And you see
with my blade.
Your father is gone, and it is temporarily replaced by an entire processional of shadowy figures of no definable features sitting in all of the pews, who seem to just be raising their hands up in rage and abject hatred and consternation, as if they've been lost in the occultic ritual that had taken place here.
Well, if you're gonna come at me, you better start swinging, 'cause I ain't going to go down quietly.
You hear this guttural groaning coming from behind you as a shadow falls over you. Roll initiative.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh, and don't forget to, I'll add you in. Yeah. This is the theater of the mind. There's no thing for this. Let me put you there. Boom. Holden.
All right.
You return to your room.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Back in my room.
Open the door. Return to your bed.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
I'll read for a bit while I wait for Marius to get back.
Sometimes
I have some sort of book in my bag.
Yeah. Some time passes until you hear that voice on the wind again. Why did you kill me, Holden?
Okay, I will use the book to cover my face and just not respond this time.
You can't hide from the truth, Holden. And eventually your sins catch up with you.
It's a sin to tell a lie. I've been playing too much New Vegas.
Yeah. As you feel your shadow cast upon the floor by the moonlight grow wider and longer and gain more definition as it raises itself up onto the wall opposing you. You're doing your best not to look at it as it gains new definition and throws itself upon you. Roll initiative.
The shadow demons are real. Shadow people. Oh fuck, we're fighting shadow people. Oh no.
No.
It's the shadow demon at the foot of my bed every night. Oh fuck.
16. It needs to be added.
Holden, 16. Okay. Iraq, you return to your room.
And go to sleep. Now that it's quiet.
Finally, some peace and quiet.
Finally, some peace and fucking quiet. Gosh. Golly.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not gonna stay up. It's a small keep. We've been told there's no ghosts, so
Everybody else,
afraid of no goes.
everybody else is having a harrowing experience while Iraq's just like, I'm just gonna take a nap.
what's wrong with taking a little nap? What's wrong with getting rest?
He's a sleepy little boy.
That's what we're here to do, is to rest.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe that's what we should have done. I just hope we get some loot out of this or something, because damn, shadow people fights are not easy.
No, they are not. So be careful. Oh, shit. Well, that was a 20.
Oop.
Whoop whoop. But those guys are the room right next to me, so if I hear fighting, I'll go over and back them up.
The shadow.
Well, I guess it's just Holden.
This is happening simultaneously. So when I say the shadow, it's for each of you, Holden and Marius. The shadow attacks you. Oh, why did it roll it twice? What the hell? Well, whatever. I'm taking the first roll. A 15.
That hits me barely.
Okay. I'll throw your tokens up here, mostly just to track health. Okay.
All right.
What health were you guys at, by the way?
I have 26 HP. I didn't take a single hit.
I'm at 19. The token has not been updated to my new level. Hold on.
Okay. So 19 out of 19?
Yeah, 19 out of 19.
Okay.
And 0, yeah, 0 out of 1.
Boom. Okay. You take 8 necrotic.
Wow.
Wow!
And your target and your strength score is reduced by 3.
Oh, wait, no. That's minus 8. Minus 8. Right. 8. So you said strength score reduced by 3.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Does the 15 hit Marius?
No, it does not.
Okay. So the shadow kind of rushes over the pedestal to try and envelop you, but you duck out of the way. Holden.
Okay. I will be. It's behind the pedestal.
No. This is in your room.
Okay, this is my room. Okay, so that was for Marius. I guess I'll try and instinctively I'll just take my rapier, which was at my side, I guess, and stab it.
Okay. Roll to attack.
16.
Hits. Roll damage.
10.
Okay. 10 damage. Got it. As you do so, you pierce into the direct center of where you think the chest of this shadowy figure is. And you just hear like a death rattle of, "Why did you kill me?" It is still alive, though it is in pain.
Okay, can I try and disengage with my bonus action and back up a bit?
Yeah, though you don't have much
Okay.
room to maneuver in this
Yeah,
chamber.
just to get myself in a better spot than being fucking fucked on the bed.
Yeah, fucked on the bed. Hell yeah.
Hell no, I don't want that. All right, yeah, I'll back up, get myself in a better spot.
Getting fucked on the bed, Jesus.
Okay, and that means it's Marius' turn.
Alright, I'm gonna take a mighty swing at that motherfucker.
Okay. Roll to hit. What did you get?
18.
Hit. Oh, and
Okay.
you get a d4 as well.
Yep. Seven damage.
Okay.
Okay.
So you slice into the shadow, and it almost seems to cut it in half, though the shadow just forms back as if it's
Bloody
completely
hell.
unaffected. And it just sort of raises up its arms to envelop you again, and it trails against the ground as if it has no legs, and it simply floats down. It is uncanny and disturbing, but it's still coming at you. It's the shadow's turn. Attack, attack. Well, I'm rolling it. I'm rolling the attack once and then just count. Oh, that's a 21. Hello, Jesus
Ooh.
Christ. Okay,
Ooh.
so that is 4 necrotic damage for both of you.
Ouch.
Wow.
And your strength score is
Oh,
reduced.
I accidentally just deleted my token.
Oh, come on, man.
I was trying to change like the damage taken on the token, and I pressed backspace and it just deleted the token.
Whoops. So Marius is at. You lose 3 points of strength, and Holden has lost 6.
Yeah, I've lost 6.
Bring your token back.
Thank you.
What's your total health?
My total health right now is 7 out of 19. Oh, sorry. Total, yeah. Total.
7 out of 19? Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm at right now.
Yeah, okay. Iraq, you hear a disturbance.
Oh no.
As you wake up, you realize that there's a depression upon the foot of your bed.
What could that be?
You peek your eyes open to see an older man with long blonde hair and soft gray eyes. He wears worn clothing and a pewter amulet. He's resting his hands upon his knees and turns to look at you. Long time no see, Rock.
Do I recognize this person?
It is your master. Yulong.
Oh. Hello, Yulong.
Hello. What's the matter? Don't know how
Nothing,
to
I
greet an
just-
old friend.
I didn't expect to be seeing you here.
I hadn't expected to see you either, but what a unique experience, eh?
You're unique indeed.
How have you been, Iraq? I haven't seen you in some years.
Very, very well, actually. I've taken up to fishing in this lovely little town. And a couple of adventurers came through. I had to help out.
Really?
And one of them is staying in my house, which is why I am here.
Do tell. How are you feeling?
Hmm.
Has the way of the Stoneheart done well for you in your journey?
Oh, yes, Master Gillen. It has helped me greatly and helped me help other people in many, many circumstances.
That's good.
Having having an immovable mind isn't something that's valued. Having an immovable heart, however, certainly is.
I taught you all that I could know, but I sensed in your soul a need for wandering, and thus you set about upon your journey. You really could write to us more often, you know. I always look forward to hearing more about your stories. Still, this beats the written word, wouldn't you say? And he chuckles to himself.
Certainly would. Certainly would say.
He's kind of
I will do my best to write more often.
He's given that vibe of like, you know, Ben Kenobi sitting on the log and talking to Luke.
By what means are you here, Master Yulong?
Oh, well, that's interesting, you see. I'm speaking to you from the ethereal plane at the moment. Now, normally the ethereal plane, it exists on top of the material, you see. It's where spirits and those of similar kind tend to wander. But a strange disturbance in these lateral movements of magic, some sort of triggering mechanism has occurred which has caused a sort of crossover, and he crosses his fingers together on either hand to indicate this. And as a result, the fears and spirits of the mind have grown a personality and have begun to walk about. As a result,
that doesn't sound good.
I've discovered that I was able to speak to you. It's almost as if your chakras had opened up to me for the first time in a very long time. Something which I could always sense when I was in your presence, but this is more of like a long-distance communication, eh?
Now, if we could only figure out how to do this all of the time, very useful.
I suspect if you figure out what that trigger is that's causing it, then you'll figure out how to stop it or start it again. But for the time being, this is how it is.
Something to do with this keep.
Really? He looks
Perhaps.
around the room as if he's only just noticing where he is.
I wonder if he could sense the literal demonic presence since he's in the ethereal plane.
That's a good point. Master Yulong, are there other spirits here in the keep?
Well, I don't sense anything, save for the demons we all carry with us, you see. That's why I can talk to you here now. I taught you a sense of inner peace, inner persistence, and calmness, Zen, you see. If I hadn't instilled this in you, we wouldn't be talking right now. In all likelihood, you may be in conflict with your inner self. The demons that most normal people would shy away from and deny would grow a personality of a sorts and attack their host. But you mastered that long ago. And so, your interaction with the ethereal is not but calm waters, making it possible for us to speak.
Well, I'm certainly grateful for your teachings, then.
Of course. There's still much for you to learn. Though you are older in age, there's always more wisdom that can be gained. Never forget our tenets of balance. Cosmologically speaking, law, and he draws the upward arrow, representing forward progress, stability and eventual stagnation, pure stasis, and chaos. And he draws within the air the 8-pointed star that represents all direction, simultaneous, true entropy. And the balance within are the key principles of all life. They are not inherently evil or good. They simply exist. They are. You can choose to follow one path in totality or the other, or lie somewhere in the middle. Some believe that the ways of balance are nothing more than a neutrality of sitting on the fence, but truthfully, balance is about mastering the in-between, of being able to accept the best and worst of law and chaos together, simultaneously. Much of this I can simply tell you, but it is a path you choose to walk and is only learned and fraught with your own lessons in life. As I always say, there is a difference between knowing the path and walking it.
Wise words, Master Yulong. As always.
No, of course. Why else would I say them? And he just chuckles to himself.
Ah,
Oh, tell me more of your adventures.
well, I settled a couple of inter-house conflicts. A few towns over. Just old habits that their fathers were mad at each other because their fathers were mad at each other because one of their fathers stole the goat from somebody. And it's also tiresome. They spend so much of their energy being angry and negative with each other that they can't be productive. Many such cases. And here, in the Tourelle, this has been a lovely and quiet town. Not too much conflict. Most of the conflict here is between humanity and nature. Not much I can do about that. So, I was thinking of moving on. Just so happens, this group of young adventurers comes through and requests my help. Odd how things work out that way.
Indeed. Fate has weaved you quite an interesting tale indeed. And I cherish every moment that I get to spend and hear about it. So please, continue. Share more of your great adventures. And the scene closes as you and your master get to catch up after having not spoken to each other face to face in years. And you enjoy a lovely evening together.
Sweet.
As meanwhile,
Meanwhile, we're getting slaughtered by shadow demons.
Death.
he has made peace with his inner self, whereas Holden and Marius, you are at conflict. Holden, it is your turn.
Okay. I will then go in to attack the shadow once again, and I will also pull out a dagger, so I can use that as well.
Okay.
I can't do offhand attacks as well. I should be able to do that.
I think you can.
Yeah, because it is action, bonus action, 2-weapon fighting. Yeah. Okay.
It has to be a
I'll-
light melee weapon that you're using in one hand, which counts as a dagger, and you use it as
Yep.
your bonus action. But go ahead, roll to attack.
Yeah, hold on. Customize, dual wield, apply. Yeah, okay. All right, first attack with the rapier. 15.
Hits.
All right. Big damage, please.
11.
11. Yep.
So as you pull out your dagger and then thrust again with your rapier, you hear a shrill pitched scream as the shadow dissipates and you hear on the edge of your hearing that same old man shouting, "Why did you kill me?" as it disappears.
I will exhale and then go back to bed.
You just kind of sink down.
Yeah.
Ugh. Marius, the entire choir is screaming as the largest of the shadows in this abandoned chapel continues to try and envelop you in its unending dark. It is your turn.
I will never surrender to the dark. I will fight until my last breath. Come at me with all you have. All right.
Roll to hit.
Nope, I sucked a dick.
Roll a... Oh, no, actually, your D3 wouldn't help that. So you miss.
Yep.
That means the shadow gets one more hit against you. 13.
Nope, does not hit.
So it attempts to swipe at you once more, grab at your face, and drain your strength. Marius.
All right. I just can't buy a hit to save my life right now.
You also got your energy drained. You're at a minus
Yeah,
3,
I
right?
did.
Yeah.
Yes, no, it would be -2 right now, so it would be at 6, so.
So you feel your arms growing heavier as you're barely able to lift the sword. Boom. That is an 11. Miss. Back
All
to
right.
Marius.
I headbutt the demon. If I can.
Yeah. Roll whatchamacallit, unarmed strike.
I don't have to. Okay. Plus to 1 plus strength modifier. Okay, so that's a strength, that's a 23. So that would be a 21.
Okay. That does hit, even regardless of your D3.
Oh yeah, because that's a yeah, so that's still a crit. That's a natural crit. Good lord.
Hey.
Go ahead.
Wait, no,
and
it's not. It's not a natural.
Not
Okay,
yet, not
unarmed
yet.
strike. Okay.
Roll that damage with the D3.
Okay.
Okay, add a D3. So you slam your head into the shadow, and oddly enough, it does give some resistance. It feels as if you've thrown your head against a marble pillar, and you feel engulfed as if you're drowning in the pure, utter, cold Arctic winter of the abyss. As it dissipates around you, you are drowning in it. Its energy just seems to seep within you. And for a brief moment, you see, off in the distance, a great tower of shadow.
I'll never give in, you hear me? I'll never give in.
There's an image for this. I just gotta find it. There it is. Okay, stand by. Save image. Right there. I'll post this in the thingy. You see this. And it's a spoiler for Paper Guide who may be listening. But there it is. You just see it for a moment, and then it fades away, and you pass out on the floor.
I can't see it. What was it?
It's in the SEG's
Oh.
text. Right
Oh
there.
my god.
Yeah, so you see that
Holy
for a
shit.
second, and then you pass out into the realm of dreams. And you hear the sound, V has come too. And then everybody gets a long rest and wakes up the next morning to the sound of the ocean waves and the birds and the seagulls singing. Let me get rid of this music. Boom. Boom. Everybody gets 200 XP,
Ooh.
including Paper Guide, even though he's not here.
He could have had something happen to him in his dreams.
Oh, something happened. You just didn't see it. We'll find out next session.
Oh, we're so close to level 3.
Yeah.
So let me see here.
Oh yeah, we're 100 XP away.
How close, by the way, did you get to 0 strength?
I was at what is it? 7. I've ran stuff like that before in one of my games. I know what's strength is.
Thankfully, you got a long rest in, and you regain all of your strength score. Minor side note: in Dungeon Crawl Classics, reducing your ability scores happens more often due to other mechanics, and as a result, you don't regain them back as quickly. So you only regain 1 point of an ability score per 24 hours of rest. So like you could burn 5 or 6 points of an ability and then just be like, well, I need 5 days to get it back.
My God, that's unforgiving.
Oh, definitely by design, because there's a lot higher character mortality rate in that game.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of meat grinders.
I mean, I love them. So if you want to play them, let me know.
Gotcha.
I mean, eventually I'll introduce you to the meat grinder, and you'll wonder.
Meat grinder, no.
Maybe I am a big fan of meat grinders. There's the shadows. They look fucking horrifying.
That looks really terrifying, dude. Holy shit.
I'm glad I didn't have to deal with it.
Yeah. Iraq has a sort of inner peace that prevented him from being haunted by his own demons. Marius and Holden, on the other hand, they've got a lot of baggage.
Yeah, but what I saw though, holy fuck. I'm grabbing a paper and I'm sketching that shit like right now.
Okay. Well, I'm glad I inspired you.
No, I meant like in character I'm doing that.
Oh, I mean, you could do it.
Yeah, in my journal I'm gonna be sketching that shit.
Hell yeah. So somebody said they had to end at 4:30, right?
5:30.
5:30.
I got a whole nother hour,
Okay.
Another hour.
at least.
Let me get rid of the turn order. Well, I don't want to get too far ahead.
Oh yeah.
I kind of want to pick up on that with Paper for the next game because I've got some things for him. So even though we're kind of an hour ahead, I did say like we'll probably have a shorter session, so maybe we'll call it here for now. If that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to walk my dog still.
Yeah. So I'm glad you all indulged me this.
That was good.
Yeah, it was fun.
I had fun. Let me end the recording. Thank you all for joining me.
Thank you, Mr. DM.
I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Stop recording.